Landing a job as a business analyst is not easy, especially when you're just starting out in this profession. Or perhaps if you've been with the same company for many years and you're now exploring new opportunities, it's hard. Even landing a screening interview with a recruiter can seem like an impossible task. But here's the thing. While there are factors that are outside of your control, there are many things that you can do today to increase your chances of landing and passing the job interview, and I want to share them with you. As a BA lead and a hiring manager, I have been personally involved in screening and interviewing of hundreds of business analysts, so I know firsthand what employers are looking for. A quick disclaimer. Everything I share in this video represents my personal point of view and my educational business, BA Career Mentor. It does not reflect the opinions of any companies I've worked for. So whether you're preparing for your first interview or you're already negotiating a job offer, stick around because I'll share the key points that you need to know to land your dream job as a business analyst. Let's go. Hi, I'm Sergey Shimansky, and on this channel, I teach business analysts how to take ownership of their careers and live a happy professional life. If you're here for the first time, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the new videos that we publish on this channel. Thank you. Before we start, this video is going to be packed with a lot of practical information, so be ready to take notes and pause if needed to digest and rethink the information. But the best way to go is have your resume handy so you can make updates in real time as you watch. Alright, are you ready? Let's start by taking a look at the hiring process in a nutshell. If we take a 1,000-foot view of the hiring process, we will always include the following steps: sourcing, screening, interviewing, hiring, and onboarding. It all starts with a sourcing where the recruiter is trying to identify everyone who might be eligible for the job. And we're sometimes talking about hundreds of applicants for a single job position. And of course, to narrow down the list of those who may even be considered, it's impossible to do that manually. That's where recruiters often use ATS, applicant tracking systems, to automatically scan through hundreds of resumes and quickly eliminate those who are absolutely not a match for this position, which saves the recruiter a lot of time. Once there's a pool of valid candidates, the recruiter moves to the screening stage. This is where they thoroughly scan through candidate profiles and referrals to identify those eligible for the hiring interview. That's right, before you even get a chance to have a proper, thorough BA interview, you need to pass this screening test. During screening, the recruiter will compare your resume with the job description of the ideal candidate they are looking for, and they will try to determine whether you meet their requirements. So it is critically important to ensure that your resume and your online profile contain all the keywords the recruiter has included in the job profile. If you see things like user stories, Jira, or the CBAP certification in the job requirements, make sure that your resume matches at least 80% of these exact keywords. And because there's so much automation in the sourcing and screening stage today, as I was saying, this process might not even be handled by a recruiter, but by an automated system. So make sure that you clearly specify those keywords in your resume and your online profile. After the recruiter has identified you as an eligible candidate, they will usually reach out and conduct a screening interview with you. This may be a quick 15-minute conversation where you need to be prepared to answer basic qualifying questions. They may ask you about your past experience, but usually these are very high-level qualifying questions, and oftentimes these questions are designed to identify potential red flags. For example, candidates who change jobs too frequently, or they may assess your presentation skills or gain some insights into your personality. Important: be prepared to discuss salary expectations during the screening interview with a recruiter. This is one of the major qualifying questions they will have for you. So make sure to do your salary research in advance. And I actually have a separate video on my channel where I do a detailed review and share several methods for your salary research so that you can have valid numbers ready. This video will pop up somewhere right here. Make sure to check it out. Don't ever underestimate the power of a follow-up. After the screening interview, you should absolutely follow up with the recruiter and ask about the next steps. Don't be shy. Reach out and ask where your application currently stands. The recruiter is your partner in this process. Their job is to act as a middleman between you and the hiring organization. So try to be a partner to them. At the end of the day, they're oftentimes paid based on their ability to find valuable candidates, and that candidate might be you. So work on your relationships with a recruiter and be easy to work with. Now the next step is the actual hiring interview. If you have landed it, that's already a good sign. You're doing something right. Your CV contains the necessary information, and the way you communicated with a recruiter made that next step possible. This is where detailed conversations will take place, and depending on the size of the company, there might be multiple stages in the interview process. It's not unusual to go through 2 to 3 interviews with various members of the team, including your future manager. Some organizations will try to pack everything into a single day at the same location, while others may spread the process out. However, it usually happens in a tight time frame, let's say within 1 or 2 weeks. At this stage, as you go through the interviews, don't hesitate to reach out to the recruiter for clarifications about the process. They should tell you how many interview stages to expect, the expected response time, and the roles of the people who will be interviewing you. Super important. Make sure that you do your homework and gather as much information about the company and the project as possible. And then during the interview, don't just answer questions. Position your replies in a way that aligns with the company's products. For example, if you are asked about specific modeling notations or requirements gathering methods that you've used, you can refer to the company's products and say something like, I also know that you produce software X or product X, and I believe that user stories in a certain format would be beneficial here, because I believe that's the best way to document requirements coming from non-technical users. Something like this. The more relevant details you add about the company and the products, and then you show your genuine curiosity, the better your storytelling will resonate with the interviewer, and they will remember you. Think about it. At the end of the day, the hiring team is trying to determine whether they're willing to work with you every day and whether you will be a valuable addition to their team. So in addition to being knowledgeable and experienced, try to be likable and relatable. Always ask questions about the company, the project, and the team structure. This will demonstrate that you genuinely care about the role and what you can bring to the table. Again, make sure that the questions that you ask are relevant to what the company does and what you've discussed in the interview. All right, what happens next? After the interview, sometimes candidates don't receive any feedback. And even if they're rejected, there may be no clear indication of what went wrong. And even though I hate to say it, that's okay, because again, it's something you just can't control. What you can do, though, is to reflect objectively on things you could have done better and ask the recruiter for feedback. Show that you respect and appreciate the expertise and the experience of the hiring team and the time they spent with you, and let them know that you would love to hear the feedback. Now, of course, if everything goes well, after multiple rounds of interview, you'll finally hear back from the recruiter and receive an offer. Congratulations. However, there's still time to make some small and important final adjustments. If you have any further questions about the terms of your employment, salary, or anything else, don't hesitate to reach out. You still have the opportunity to clarify all the final details with the recruiter. We have all heard stories about offers being pulled or withdrawn, or the candidates changing their salary expectations at the last moment and demanding additional accommodations that the company might not be able to meet. These things happen, and while some factors are beyond your control, the best way to mitigate potential risks is to do your research first. Hey friend, I want to give you a gift for hanging out with me today. It's a cheat sheet for landing and navigating the interview process as a business analyst. This cheat sheet has been designed specifically for BAs and is based on my 20 years of professional experience in screening, interviewing, and hiring business analysts. Use the link in the description below and grab your copy today. And if you need personalized help navigating the interview process as a business analyst, I'll be happy to help you just as I've helped many other of my students and mentees. Reach out to me using the link in the description and I'll be happy to guide you through the next steps in my mentoring program. I'm Sergey Shimansky. If you found this video useful, make sure to like it and share it with someone who is truly interested in advancing their BA career to the next level. They will highly appreciate it. Thank you for sticking around. I'll see you in the next video.